This week on Induction Noise. I discuss my favorite greengrocers, the local Sea Point herb merchants. Neil tries some forceful marketing.
Buy oil. Or no more. Buy it or no more podcast for you lot.
Andre completes his medical degree.
We're calling it time of death.
Time of death. Good evening, gentlemen. It's a little bit later than we had hoped to get going, but here we are. Welcome back to Induction Noise. I am Mr. Q. To my left is Andre.
Hi there.
And to the right we have Neil.
Hello.
And over there at the end is Nico.
How's it?
And we are going to be discussing this evening brilliant ideas, which is why we've come to the boardroom. I don't know if you've... for those watching on YouTube, you'll see that we're in the boardroom of Neil's offices.
I think the word you're looking for is think tank.
A think tank.
Automotive think tank.
So the Induction Noise Automotive think tank is now in session.
And for the viewers, not the listeners, Quentin is wearing a turtleneck to have the tech mind in mind.
Like a team of Steve Jobs.
Stay long enough and you can watch the presentation afterwards, basically.
Indeed. Hopefully it doesn't go blue screen on me. But
We'll
anyway.
put a link to the deck in the comment section.
So,
The Quentin's presentation is actually
funny, completely unrelated story. You know how old this thing is?
No.
I bought this when we just
You shouldn't be
moved.
that self-derogatory. You know how this thing is. Say how old I am.
I bought this when we just moved to Holland. So that would have been 94.
You lived in Holland?
I lived in
Jeez
Holland for
Louise.
3 years.
When did you live in Holland?
You never mentioned that.
You never mentioned that.
We have
Conveniently, you
not
forgot
even
to
started
mention
and we're already off on a tangent. I lived in Holland for 2.5 years before moving to
it.
England.
In Amsterdam.
Near Amsterdam, in Voorschoten.
In Voorschoten.
Yeah. Actually, Wassenaar, which is just outside Voorschoten.
Okay.
Sounds like a bunch of mumbo-jumbo words.
Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, so brilliant automotive ideas. Andre, you had this brilliant idea. So what brilliant ideas would you bring to the table?
And maybe explain a bit to us, what do you mean by brilliant ideas? I mean, some would argue some of the best ideas has come out, like an combustion engine. That was a brilliant idea.
That was not a bad idea.
It was not a bad idea.
It wasn't a bad idea, no.
But
how
when
do you-
last have you heard a fantastic automotive idea?
Well, I
Like
must
the-
say...
Since
I had
Jaguar appointed a
conversation-
new marketing department.
That is true. That was a brilliant idea. We told him to, by the way.
I had this conversation with someone the other day, and we sort of tried to think of the last time that there was a real sort of aha moment in the automotive space.
Exactly.
And it seems like the only guys who are still doing really innovative, proper sort of engineering stuff are guys
Italians.
like Christian van Koenigsegg even.
That is true.
He really pushes the boundaries on what we think as a normal engine is capable of, and he just goes, well, why don't we just do this? And then it could do so much more.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little 3-cylinder, however much engine that makes a million horsepower.
a million
it does
horsepower.
cost £1 million, but it does make £1 million horsepower.
But, I mean, it's a fantastic piece of engineering. It's
a brilliant idea.
It's a brilliant idea.
I think one of the more normal brilliant ideas, and this might be kind of controversial, is PHEVs. I think PHEVs is for the future of having to have
Is
something
he having a
with...
stroke? What's a PHEV?
Who is this guy? What did you guys do with Nick?
Listen,
Is he
no.
dyslexic?
But if
It sounds like he's trying to spell HEV something.
HIV.
if you maybe it's the electricity from the office, But
So
anyway,
what is a PHEV?
so that's your
So-
plug-in hybrids.
FIF, like the kids say.
Yeah. I don't know what kids you hear saying that, but okay. I mean, if
Wait a minute.
you
Whose
have
kids
to,
are you talking to?
Yeah, I know.
if
Uncle
you-
Andre back at it
He's going to have
again.
a stroke if you don't let him speak out, please.
Sorry, Nico.
if you have to have something that's a bit more eco-friendly, what? It might as well
Alpha 4C.
It might as well A, increase your performance, but B, give you the option to just use it as a normal car, right? So now with plug-in hybrids, you can at least, you can do your daily boring commute on electric if you really want to. And then on the weekends, switch it to sport or whatever and let the motor take over. When you go on trips, it can start on electric and on fuel. Compared to just going electric, I feel like that's a brilliant idea compared to, just going electric or mild hybrids. I don't understand a mild hybrid. It seems like a cop-out.
Mild hybrid is a marketing exercise.
Exactly, because the car charges itself. Okay, cool. You have to brake to charge it. Okay.
The battery is all but 3 pen lights in size.
Exactly.
And it gives you extra 1 horsepower for 10 seconds.
Yeah, so if you rub your feet enough on the ground of a mild hybrid, it would charge it. So I think if you really need to think of like something that's recently become quite bigger, because you see most of the manufacturers starting to come out with plug-in hybrids now.
And China's brought it in a big way.
China's beating everyone at this point. But if that's the way forward and it kind of saves the normal combustion engine still by having that as an option, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and you don't have to be like that guy in KwaZulu-Natal that had to, charge his mild hybrid by, causing some friction in the car. That video of the truck driver
Yes,
buying past. Paul Oak was probably driving a mild hybrid. So my energy is coming. I have to do something about it right now.
The guy was frictioning at a
rapid rate there.
But listen,
friction.
The thing is, Niku said now if you have to drive something that's a little bit eco-friendly, let's be honest, 99% of South Africans couldn't give 2 hoots about their carbon footprints and whatever.
But the gas bill is important to them.
That's the thing. Their petrol bill at the end of the month is what they're really concerned about.
Yeah.
Because, let's face it, even if you do get a plug-in hybrid, 80% of our electricity in this country comes from a coal-fired power station.
No. Typically, if you have money for a plug-in hybrid, you probably have money for some solar power. Most of my household
but you're going to be plugging
solar.
your car in at night when your solar power is not really doing much.
Yeah,
I think another brilliant idea is batteries. So during the day, but someone else, I cannot take the credit for this. Someone else came up with it. This allows you to collect this throughout the day, store it, and then dispense it during the night.
I think in the end, it's the same with the whole topic of where I've never seen the point of people bringing up, this for greenwashing, because if it makes economic sense, people will buy it. It's the same, if it will save you rands and cents. I did the exercise once, actually doing, around your commute you do every day in and out. And I was looking at, because I think one of the most brilliant sort of initial entrance into the EV market was the BMW i3. And you can see them actually, they've got very, very strong, and very, very strong second-hand market values at the moment as well.
It's got a carbon tub like a 4C.
Does it?
Yeah.
I was kind of like stuck on
4Cs, yours has proven to be very reliable recently.
Anyways, let's move on. So the BMW i3, that's another brilliant idea. Since they are carbon tubs, why not have an i3 racing series? How light will an i3 be if you strip them out?
See who burns first, basically. You need like some pretty extensive,
Well, here's a brilliant idea. Take it as a starting point and then
Just
put a
the
real engine in there. Like an M28 or like a 328
engine. There is a guy who did that with a BMW i8. Like they built like a hill climb car.
Yes, that was a brilliant idea.
Like a Zytek V.
Because the i8 is a nice looking car. I like an i8.
Yeah.
I've driven one and it's a bit asthmatic. The little.
I don't like the looks of it.
I like the looks of it.
It's aged badly. When it came out, I thought, wow, that's a really good looking thing.
It was super futuristic. Now
But
it looks
now
old.
it looks like...
But I still like it.
Yeah,
it's
I
a bit like watching the
one.
Jetsons. And it's like, this is what the future will look like from the 1950s.
It's probably not the shape, it's the color combinations. It came out, and the one looked like Free Willy, basically, black and white. It looked like a freaking... Or blue and white. It's like very weird sort of
but
strange.
also the local Sea Point herb merchants who are all wrapping them in like bright gold.
Most of them are chrome. Most of them in Cape Town are chrome or bronze or some shiny.
Hideous.
They are rapid though.
Not that quick.
They're quite fast. Off the line, they're super
What
fast.
is the M3? F30 M3 normally, right?
I'll take it. No, I'll take him.
when your car's running.
when your car's working.
I've driven it. I've driven it.
You're stepping into it, man, to be honest. Like, I mean,
I've rerouted the conversation. We've
This is,
ended up back
this is about
exactly where
brilliant
we
ideas.
started.
And going down that path is not a brilliant idea.
so for me, you know what? I immediately thought about, like, in terms of brilliant,
That's a
what they
brilliant idea.
what they should have had, like, brilliant ideas. I mean, maybe, you know, it's a car that it's now a little bit more closer, nothing too innovative, but a car that I really was thoroughly excited about when it came out, and that was the new Z, the new Nissan Z, when they
400.
brought it, the 400, as they called it. But it was, I think, if you've read any of the reviews of it
So
afterwards,
great idea, executed not greatly.
poorly. And in the end, you know, then they try to follow it up with what they call the Nismo version, right? Which everyone says, oh, you know, finally, everyone says that's what the performance should have been.
And it cost double what the original cost.
Yes, and they only brought it out with a slush box. So I thought, like, if
was
you
not
wanted
a
to do it,
brilliant idea.
yeah. So my suggestion would have been, like, they should have made a proper Nismo version, but with a proper manual gearbox with what to put in it.
There you go, Nissan.
No,
That's
no.
a brilliant idea.
That's what I thought. Like,
The Nismo version should have been the car they brought out in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
And it
Yeah.
should have had a manual
version.
gearbox in it.
because it's just. I mean, it
that car
suffers.
was such a long time coming.
Yeah.
For them to have such a long development cycle and then still get it so wrong, it's just
Well,
inexcusable.
it's basically just a 370Z underneath it again. So, which is
Yeah.
basically a modification of the 350Z.
So what did they
platform.
do with all the time?
I think it was like
Eat a noodle.
it's in that phase where it's just not financially viable for them to do it. They should have gone the route maybe to do what Toyota did and BMW and did like
Yeah,
a collaboration, or what Toyota did with the 86 with Subaru. And instead they left it in, you know, for Nissan, I think North America had like a lot of like say in it. I think it looked really cool. But all the reviews, I thought to myself when I read the first reviews, I thought to myself, I can't see myself, even for me as a Nissan guy, buying this over a Supra. I just have a Supra.
Let's be
It's,
honest here. Even the 370Z when it came out, the 370Z was a cool car, but even that was kind of outdated when it came out already.
But it's just a 350 with a body frock and some extra power, right? It's
Yeah,
very
sure.
close to a 350.
Shortened wheelbase. And
Yeah.
I mean, and the weird thing is, it's kind of like with the way we talk about the GTR. Everyone wants that sort of manual driver, a little bit of like a, you know, Japanese sort of a muscle car vibe.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the new Z it suffered of the same issues it had all the other cars, or its two predecessors had. It's a great car, but now, whereas the 350Z when it came out, people could live with this sort of brutishness because it was fairly cost effective. It was very, very cost effective. I mean, we saw in a video, it's fairly quick for what you paid for it off the line. I mean, it was as quick as a base 911 almost of the time.
There's a performance bargain.
Yeah. 370 was then a little bit, I think because it had like the Synchro Rev match, so there was a little bit of features, a little bit more upmarket, softer. And then with the 400, or the normal Z, not 400, the competition was just moved on. You have the dark horse now for the Nismo. You have, I mean, and it just didn't.
A day late and a dollar short.
So if you think of like the collaboration between BMW and Toyota, who would you see pairing up with Nissan if you had to?
Well,
you know,
Nissan and Honda were very close to
doing something
together, but it
that's
just
because
fell apart.
Nissan was kind of, they are struggling to pay the bills.
Here's what I would have done. That's like now you've got like what I think would have been cool. If you let Nissan had a great group of engines. So the engine that they put in that one is a twin turbo 3-liter V6. It's like 400 horsepower. That's where the 400 moniker name came from. Even though it was only called the Z for the anoraks. It wasn't called the 400. It's just called the Z.
It's like the GTR that was not the Skyline GTR.
Skyline, yes, exactly. But then they should have let Honda do the chassis.
Okay.
Keep it front engine, rear wheel drive. Let Honda do the chassis because they would have made it lighter, most likely.
Honda's good with chassis.
But
The Honda
then-
NSX is a very well handling car.
Let Nissan help with the
the
design
S2000.
to keep the design, but let Honda do the chassis development.
And I would argue use a Honda interior because that Nissan interior is still a very old Z looking,
It's an acquired
right?
taste.
It's not bad. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's
but
got
it's
a
not-
weird feel. It's a,
But if you've seen the new Zs, like the it's got like this LCD display. It doesn't look great. Sorry, for me, I can't. It looks crap.
But
it doesn't look.
I must admit, I'm not a fan of LCD displays anywhere in a car anyway. Because
except if it's a clock with a time on it.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
fine.
if you walk into a place like our showroom, right, a lot of those cars look amazing. I mean, they might be 20 years old, but they still look like an incredible car. And then you get in it, and it's got this old LCD display with crappy VGA graphics.
Does not age well.
And it's the first thing that tells you, oh shit, this is an old car. If you had gotten into that car and you had a nice gauge cluster in front of you and some stylish buttons and whatever, it'll be very hard for you to actually date when that car was actually made. But the minute you put an LCD display in it, you're like, yeah, this is a date stamp. Let's just say that's when we made it. And, 10 years from now, people are going to get in it and go, ugh.
I have an argument for that, though.
Yeah.
Because I really do love how the Mark III Supra has that digital display that
But
looks
that's
like...
Yeah,
that's
different.
LCD
so
done well.
cool.
That's LCD
different.
done well.
But you see, it's LCD.
Yeah, but that's
Done
not.
well.
That's not a. That's
Still,
not a.
it's LCD.
It's
It's
not a.
super cool. You must
It's not a
admit.
screen.
Feels like
Yeah.
your Knight Rider.
Yeah, but it's not an LCD screen though.
It's like the S2000's gauge cluster as well. I love
it's
that.
a digital cluster. It's not an LCD. It's a digital cluster with digital things that
Yeah.
move. The LCD that has like a little, especially they've got this gray or green, that with it's normally a block where they display the different things in, and it just they normally lose pixels and eventually.
It sounds like a potato-tomato situation, yeah.
But the whole and the Honda S2000 with the red
yeah.
counter thing.
Especially when it's-
BMW actually kept that orange LCD for super long. I mean,
Yeah,
up
yeah.
until like quite
But that was
recent.
kind of like their trademark.
Thing, yeah.
But it was well done. It was good quality though. Those,
was really good
those things
quality.
from the 90s and 80s still you can still
But I
read
mean,
those.
yeah, that was dated like
And
10 years ago.
it was
already.
very visible even in direct sunlight because a lot of these displays when you put them in direct
Super
sunlight
high quality,
you can't see them.
Oh, here we
There
go.
we go.
There we go.
Somebody
We
pay the
need, we
bills.
need to just.
Somebody plug in the PHEV.
There we go.
There we go.
The PIV is hogging the power.
Sorry, for those who are very confused about what's just happened, the boardroom that we're in has a
Think tank.
the think tank
Has a timer switch.
timer on the lights, which is triggered by a motion sensor. So if we don't move for about half an hour, then the lights go out.
Now, you see, if this was just the EV, we would have been screwed because we would have had to charge now.
Yeah.
But since we have a plug-in hybrid of our office, we just turn on the
The motor, you just
motor.
walked out and get
Exactly.
the thing running
Exactly.
again for
so
us.
plug-in hybrids is
Exactly. Nickel powered lights. There you go.
nickel-powered lights. There we go.
Nice, nice.
Now that's a brilliant
That's a
idea.
brilliant idea. That is a brilliant idea.
So here's another brilliant idea.
What, Steve Jobs?
I haven't really heard a brilliant idea yet.
I think we
Except for
should
one
we should commission police snipers to sit on bridges over the highways in South Africa.
Yeah.
This is a car
Who are we taking out first?
podcast.
Anyone who's sitting in the right-hand lane at 80 kilometers an hour, just shoot them.
Yes.
Let's
I
say
agree.
like for like
That's
take
actually-
their
They're
tires
probably
off. Let's
100 years old.
It's a good
and-
idea. Let's write a letter and let's move on.
This sounds like cancel season.
JP Smith, if you can hear us.
We refer by people. We refer to their tires. You know, like we
Yes.
shoot out their tires, basically.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly.
Sometimes we miss. Hit them right between the eye. But
Between the lug nut for those listening. Look, well, talking about the i3 race car, what. I wonder if there's like for instance with some tech companies now, like laptop manufacturers, you can almost buy a pre-built kit of a laptop, right? So you'll pay. Let's say it's $1,000. You'll pay like $700, but you can kind of pick. You know, I want this IO, I want this CPU.
Like a
I
best
want,
of breed kind of thing.
Yes, and
Build
you
your own.
kind of, you saving money because they don't have to put it together, which is actually a lie because all of the tech companies put together your package and then take it apart again. But I wonder if there's any argument for, especially if you look at like what YouTubers is doing, for something like that in the car scene, to say like, let's say the 400Z, for example, to say, I want the 400Z, but give me the motor out of, and I'm going haywire now, give me the motor out of the new Patrol, that V8 thing or whatever. So I want the V8 motor, I want the Z chassis, and I want the seat
Especially-
from an X-Trail or whatever. And you kind of get the car in a crate, right? And how you assemble that is your issue.
Either you're very good at segues, because I think it leads into our next topic, but
especially old
unknown
American muscle cars, you used to be able to do that.
Crate motors.
Dealers used to have these options packages and performance packages that they could put together, and exactly what you're saying. You can choose your engine, choose your transmission, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the ones that were made for that car, because the cars were so big, anything would fit in them. But these days with modern cars, the packaging to get all of the safety equipment
There's
in
no
there
space.
with the engine, there's no space to really deviate.
Your coach builders, right? Back in the day, that was a big coach builder. Coach building there was massive companies that
You still get coach builders.
but it's now.
You just need to be a billionaire
it was more common, and that was part of it. You could customize it. But I also think for cars, as you said, now you don't have option lists anymore. You get an option list when you buy maybe spec a 911, but you could buy a probably a 159 or 156, and there was an option list. You could, there was very interesting specifications. You could buy a 2-liter Jetta, and you could decide if you want leather seats or not. Nowadays, there's no. What is the options on it?
You choose colors.
You choose colors, and then there's a Lux
package.
and an Eco and a
And the only
X
difference
line
is
or
the
whatever.
rims, and maybe like a line on the black is a big thing, like the black edition or something. And then they just have the chrome strips are made black, and they make the chrome on the bonnet black, and then it's a black edition.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But here's my brilliant idea. We take your idea and we take it one further. With the technology that you've got today, right? I don't know if any of you have played...
technology man,
Yeah.
Technology,
Technologia. Anyway, have any of you played automation?
I've seen it.
I've done some automation in my work. It's not really played.
No, that's not it.
I haven't played it, but I've seen it.
You can design your own car and then export it into BeamNG Drive and actually drive it and whatever.
Basically,
but-
go to crash it, because that's all BeamNG drivers.
Basically. But
Actually gotten very good physics these days. Sorry.
what if you take that concept of designing your own car
And then you 3D print it.
and you 3D print it? I mean, you can literally do whatever you want then. You can just design your car, put an
In
interior,
theory, you should be able to do it.
And you
It's just going to be very costly.
and you 3D print your car. Because there are guys in America now who are 3D printing entire cars.
So what would be your
Well,
perfect 3D printed
What would
car?
you go and make?
Keep in mind,
Well, it depends what your usage case is.
keep in mind, they're using 3D printers to create molds. They're not
No.
3D printing.
They're printing parts as well.
They're printing parts.
Yeah.
They're printing parts and they're assembling full cars with nothing but 3D printed.
There are things,
Product.
there are printers that print metal parts.
Yeah.
Print like,
They can
They
print
call
an
the
engine.
laser cutter, yes.
all that. But what would be a brilliant, so I think that is a brilliant idea if you could do that. But it used to be like that. So BMWs, right? If you, it's probably still to an extent. If you bought a 3 Series or a 5 Series or whatever you bought, they only had like a number of engines.
Yeah,
And
but I
it's-
want it to come as an entire Lego box.
You want it in a crate.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. You see.
okay.
I mean, there's still some cars you can buy like that.
Yeah.
You go
but,
to like South Africa High Tech Automotive, and these guys you can get these sort of.
just a normal kit car.
Now we're touching on the kit cars, which is a
But we're
different
kind of
topic.
like already there.
Which is
to
a
be-
different topic
We're very,
altogether.
we are different topic, but
No.
where we are now, just with a different name, basically.
No, it's a different topic altogether. Kit cars are a different topic.
I mean, if you 3D print your own car, you're technically building a
Yeah,
kit
you
car.
technically building
Yes,
a kit
that's
car.
true.
Yeah.
It
But
is
that
a
was a
kit.
tangent we went
Yeah.
on.
That is a kit.
A brilliant idea is you spoke about a BMW i3, maybe racing it. There's not enough of them around. I don't think there's still that many. But there's a series that they have in the UK. So it's not that original because I'm just taking another idea and it would be brilliant to apply it in South Africa. So in the UK, they've got a series, a 24-hour endurance series, almost like the Lemon series, but it's exclusively for 1 liter cars. Mm-hmm. And you get the little Citroen we get, you get the Toyota Aygo, you get those kind of things. That'll be a very good idea for racing. It'll be cheap to race, it'll be fun to race.
But that's a brilliant idea, yes, but it's a used brilliant idea.
Hasn't been used in South Africa. It's a brilliant idea to apply it here.
What 1 liters are you going to be racing here?
Same ones you race over there. We've got Citroens, we've got Toyotas.
I actually went and had a look because we were talking about it I think not too long ago. I went to have a look at like there's the majority of them are between 50 and 65 kilowatt, and they're roughly within 20 Newton meters of one another. And
that's a lot of power.
That is like
power.
It is actually it's the Honda with the Brio. It's also a 3-cylinder.
Yeah.
You can add something like
Picanto,
the Picanto,
things, yeah.
the Quid, all of
The
these things.
Hyundai Autos,
I10
yeah.
is also the first Autos. You can even make like and you can make like a bit of a weight penalty because the Autos got 45 kilowatt actually.
Ooh.
The first Autos.
Ooh.
So you're gonna have to like give him like some extra, put some extra carbon fiber.
Wi-Fi
doors on or
automatic.
something.
What was the C2 VTS? Was that a 1 liter?
No. That was a 1400 and a 1600.
1400.
The VTS and the VTR, I think.
No wonder that those stuff went like the clappers.
The 1600s went well.
Small. Yeah.
And they got faster as they got older because bits would fall off them.
Yes, they would become lighter. But that's a brilliant idea. To race.
I think if you have a series of it, like I think it would work really, really well. We were like the other night, we were playing with the C1s and we went around the Nordschleife on Assetto Corsa. We did, I think, how long? It took 12 minutes per lap. I think we did 4. And we said we're only going to do 1. And then we did another one, and then another one. And then we spent 45 minutes going nothing faster than 120 km an hour.
And bumper against bumper.
So you seem to have liked it.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
See?
Plus, it was only the 2 of us as well, which is also...
Slow car fast is always better than fast car slow.
Listen
Yeah,
here, there's this Raw Racing or something like that. They made this green Renault Twingo, old shape Renault Twingo for the Nürburgring 24 hours now. That row
Speaking
1.
of the Nürburgring 24 hours.
Just putting it out there.
Yes, prachtig.
And that's such a cool looking little car. Unfortunately, they did put it in the wall. But I mean,
That's not
that
ideal.
was a cool car. That was
not
a
upgrade.
The Dacia Logan also crashed. At
the
Nürburgring 24
Dacia.
hours.
Yeah, I have no idea what.
So that's the
happened, but-
second time that car's crashed. As
Yeah,
well.
but
It was
that
written
thing's
off.
like proper written off.
Yeah.
I mean, the Renault just like bumped the wall.
So Misha
But that-
used to race that, right?
Dacia.
He did
raced
it
at some point.
he did it at the 24 hour as well.
But he raced in GT4 now. They won the GT4 class.
Yeah, in the Bolstein M4. So the GT4 class M4, the Rose. What was the
I think
row car in
GT3? That's GT3.
Yeah.
SP8, Misha and them came second, but they were the first GT4 across the line, basically. In their class, I think it was a...
They've got weird classes.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like
GT3
a-
and GT4. It's like SPs, 8
Yeah. I think
SP9.
their class that Misha and them racing, that's like a GT4 class, but it's a little bit unrestricted because there was an Artura car, a McLaren Artura that won it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like stupid fast. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's interesting though not to go on about row too much. I saw an article this morning. I don't know if it was the drivers or if it was the team or whatever. And I think back in 2013, they one of the teams that won the most with row, and then there was like something in between, and then now they once again back with like 4 in a row or something like that wins on the
Or
same
in a row
chassis.
for row.
4 in a row.
Worth mentioning, Rowe is the only oil manufacturer that has their own racing team.
Endurance team, yeah.
It's
was
not
kind
that
of-
they sponsor a team like some other oil companies do. They have their own team, which they use kind of like their own in-house lab. All the cars would go out, they race their 24 hours or whatever. Oil gets drained, and the oil then gets studied by scientists to see how they can make it better.
Some
which is pretty
say
cool.
they've got like quite an extensive training bed. Even in South Africa, they've got a sports car racing in local sports and GT racing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some say
They've even got a Toyota 4-wheel drive rally car that they occasionally test.
Some say that by the time this episode comes out, if you're listening on Spotify, this episode will come out on Friday. If you are watching us on YouTube, it will come out next Friday. But I recently serviced...
which is today, which is actually not
No.
Friday a week ago.
Yeah, you complicated it very much.
I have completely
Keep quiet, bro.
just like time traveled here.
this
But
is-
I have serviced my Jag with oil from Rowe.
Your wife serviced yours.
Yes. So that's like part of the video. But yeah, my wife actually serviced my Jag to demonstrate just how easy it is to service
you're
your
not
car.
paying anyone to do it, so you made your wife do it.
I'm not paying someone to do it, and hell, I'm not even doing it myself. I get my wife to do it. But anyway,
That's winning.
I can notice a definite difference in the way my car sounds. It's running quieter. My engine is definitely smoother. It's quieter. There's none of that rattly diesel noise anymore. I don't know if I've maybe forgotten to put some of the bits through.
We're bad at sales pitches. We're just going on tangents.
So we want to sell it. You can
the
actually
most important
buy,
part,
you can buy some oil on Induction noise, basically.
Yes, that's kind of what you're trying to get to here.
Yeah.
I think.
You
buy oil. No,
Buy oil.
Whether you
buy.
service it or your wife service it.
Or
you
no
can
more,
buy oil
buy
from
it or
us.
no more podcast for you lot. No more podcast, buy it.
buy oil, give it to your wife.
Yeah, service.
Brilliant idea. Here is an email, guys. We have been inundated with an email.
Saved by the bell.
It reads as follows. Jesus, I had to save us there, but anyway. Hello, Induction Noise crew. I'm not sure if I like the use of the word crew.
Gang.
We're not on a yacht. We're not on a yacht or anything.
Yeah, no, it's a bit. Anyway, my name is Brad. I'm 28. Well, there's your problem right there. Mechanically competent, and I love cars. You guys have a great show. Well, at least he's got taste. So I'm sure you would be able to help me settle a debate that I've been having with myself. The time has come to replace my BMW Z3 with something a little bigger. I can still do a two-door, but it must have 4 seats, preferably, and a decent-sized boot. I'd like to get away from the soft top as well. I have a budget of about 150k, and I think I would be able to sell the BMW Z3 for about the same, so 300k for a new car. Now, here's the debate I'm having. Do I buy something as nice as I can find for 300k and spend the entire budget on the nicest example of whatever I can find or whatever you can suggest? Or do I spend 100 to 150k on a car that is maybe in need of a little bit of help and is a bit of a project and spend the remaining budget on fixing it up? The theory being that the car that I end up with might be a nicer or better car than the 300 grand Minter. Please remember to tell your listeners and viewers that they should like, comment, and subscribe to the channel now. Clicking that thumbs up button only takes a split second, but makes a huge difference to how many people get to see your content. And obviously that means you guys get to do more cool stuff with cars, which we all want to see because your channel is awesome. This guy's nice. I like him.
I like that.
What car should I buy, Brad?
Does it need to be a 4-door?
I like the finishing bit. Although Brad is good at debating. He's a master debater. He's the same guy. He's the same guy that sent us an email a few episodes ago.
And wanted to get rid of his MX-5.
Is the same guy.
And then went on to buy a Z3.
Exactly.
And now
he's having buyer's remorse.
It's entirely possible. It is entirely possible.
So what is it? Right? Does it have to be? He's not keen on a convertible anymore, but does it need to be 4-door?
It doesn't have to be 4-door.
4 seats. 4 seats.
4 seats in a big boot.
But he wants to get rid of the soft top. But it kind of sounds like he still wants a convertible, but just a hardtop convertible. So Brad sounds a bit confused.
What are you going to get with a hardtop convertible with 4 seats that's really worth having?
I've got a good idea.
300.
I've actually got a good idea.
What?
BMW 350 CR with a metal roof.
A 435. You can get a 435
For 300.
for under 300.
Yeah,
like
honestly.
280, 270.
Yeah.
Still a 2-door, but I mean, they've got
space.
the B whatever engine that's quite freaking bulletproof. Super fast cars.
He's
super
clearly a
tunable.
BMW fan.
It's clearly a BMW
Especially if you
fan.
take it to Fricky with a laptop, because it'll
take-
be like 500 horsepower.
Listen, if you take it to Fricky with a laptop, you're going to run away from Lambos with a BMW with the roof down or on, if that's what you prefer now, Brad.
I'd try to find like a clean 135 2-door.
Yeah.
You can find one on manual,
the
low
135s
mileage,
and
lower
235s are just a bit more expensive still, but you should be able to get them for like 270 as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should go to auction, shop around, and buy Alfa Giulia.
Oh, my word.
You know you should.
Yeah, you probably should. But actually, no. I had to think about this.
Chrysler Crossfire.
The man...
What
Since you
gen-
like your CLK so much, you know, like
Dodge Nitro.
I'm
Yeah,
just
Dodge
waiting
Nitro.
for the XK or the XKR to be dropped here as well.
No, you can't buy a decent XKR for 300 grand.
So, yeah, it's about 150. But while you are thinking,
No.
while you are thinking about that, to formulate your answer,
I wasn't thinking. I was interrupted.
You were-
I was
you were
actually
interrupting
ready.
him, basically.
I was ready to give my answer. I was just rudely interrupted.
Then go right ahead. I thought it was going to take some time.
I think what he should do is keep the Z3. Because it sounds to me like what he actually wants is a practical daily, but he's still kind of, he's going to miss the whole convertible thing.
No,
He's
because
going to
he
miss
wants-
the sports
What
car
makes you
thing.
think that?
No, because he wants
Does
to
he
get
say
rid
what he
of
wants?
soft top.
But does he say what kind of car he wants?
No, he doesn't.
So what are you going to
Crap email.
what are you
Who the hell-
what are you recommending?
Please give me
to him?
advice on something, anything really.
So keep the Z3
And buy what?
and buy some
Buy
cheap
some
runabout
balls and decide
that-
what you want.
Yeah, but it doesn't help you tell him to buy a cheap runabout, but you can't tell him what cheap runaround to buy.
So for 150 grand can
Raffle.
buy you
C-Class.
Raffle.
a half decent C-Class. You can get a really nice X-Type diesel estate.
Is there one for sale?
I mean, I bought my 120 diesel coupe for that kind of money. I'm sure you can get the 5-door for that kind of money. There's lots of options in that sort of price bracket where you can buy a half-decent car that's going to be practical and he can run around with, but he gets to keep his sports car for the weekends.
Should have kept the MX-5 in the first place. But
No, that's still boring.
Yeah.
I
Been
think like
there, done
I,
that.
I like the but I think like then you're kind of like sitting with the Z3 is like getting on in the years, right? So you need
But it's a classic, right?
But it's a
is,
classic.
but
Have
then
you
you need
seen what the prices on Z3s have done
yeah
lately?
no, they're going up quite a bit.
If he keeps it and maybe over time makes it a little bit nicer, he's going to get his money back on it.
You know what I
and
would
he gets to enjoy it in the meantime.
Well, you know what I would stress? It's not. I mean, it's not a 4-seater, and it's not a 4-seater. Z4 M Coupe. You get them like they
not
are
for
like
that money, eh?
Not for 300.
No,
for three. They're
you're gonna
not
get
that much.
Yeah,
I
but you're
promise
going to
you,
get a
they're not-
ropey one for that money.
You can
Three,
get
around
you can
350.
get
You're
the-
gonna have to stretch a little bit,
you
but
can get
for under
this-
400, you can find them with
Yeah, but we're saying
relatively low
300,
money.
eh?
You can
Yeah, but
get
stretch.
You can
Stretch.
Let me.
you can get the 3 liter non-M Z4 coupe.
You can't for that
You
much.
can get
more.
them for little money, or them
Yeah, you can
for
get
cheap.
those for 300. You can
Yeah,
get a
those you
really
can get
No,
for cheap.
not even 300.
Those you get for
but
cheap.
you can get a really nice
You
one.
can get a late model
Listen
one.
here. Neil is right. Well, if you call 80k stretch,
No, it's a stretch. 400 is different to
50K.
300, bro.
yeah, 350, just sell one liver, Mr. Brad. And
350, you buy it at Gilmore, they'll give us for 300.
It's
basically.
not
You know,
even
that's
that.
Plus on the road costs.
This is not screw your on the road costs.
We need to have an episode about on-the-road costs.
It's 300, but with on the road cost 350, basically.
On the road costs are a brilliant idea. But here's the other thing about the Z4M that made me decide against one when I was looking at Z4s. Those engines, technically speaking, should have valve clearances checked every other service. Most people don't do it.
Should do the bearings every other week.
You should do the bearings every other week.
But the
Most
bearing
people
job is
don't
not
do
that
it.
expensive.
Everyone goes
People
on about
complain about
all
the-
the bearing jobs and whatever.
not
If
cheap.
you, it's not like you need to do it every 10,000 kilometers.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
But
and you've got a brilliant
The
motor
the
with
Z4
A race motor.
fucking godly induction noise on it.
But the
An
Z4M
BMW
roads,
engine.
the Z4M coupe that you're going to buy for 300 grand is going to need all of these things.
No,
Okay,
done.
but
it's not
what
that
we talked
ropey.
about it the other day. What does like the rod bearings on that S? What is it? S50? What is it? 54?
I think it's like for the rod bearings and Vanos. I remember I'm going off a guy in Bloom, but he was actually he's very good at what he does, and I know of multiple cars that's been there and been ragged to shit and still surviving. It's like 40 grand or something.
I
Just
think
40
that's-
grand.
that's a chunk of change, dude.
That's more than 10% of the budget of the whole car.
I don't think it's that bad. If
It's not that
And how
bad.
often do you do that?
For the
Every
bigger
120
job.
Ks.
Every 120,000.
Is it? No, that's not.
It's not that bad.
I don't think it's a big job.
No, that's fine.
It's not that bad and it's not that big of a job. But if you are just, if that 300K is his budget for the car, that does not include a 40K bearing job.
That car's too rich for him. That's the point.
Yeah.
Because he's already going to pay $350 for the car, and now he's going to spend an extra maintenance thing on it. He can't afford the car, I think.
But maybe
Brad needs to work harder.
if you... God.
Brad is not liking or subscribing, basically.
Brad has unsubscribed from this channel. Sorry, Brad.
We bring the unvarnished truth, man.
We have a follow-up email from Brad. It says,
Screw you, Induction Noise.
Screw you, Induction Noise.
Everyone, Andre, screw you.
I
Induction
mean,
Noise is fine.
if looking at like the cars that was at 380, 350-ish, they're around 110,000 kilos. So sure, the bearings need to be done
It's
now.
due.
But the possibility of someone that has already done that because some Nimrod has spoken them into, oh, your engine's going to explode, has probably already done that.
Yeah, because it's probably on time as well, eh? Not just mileage.
No, it's mostly on mileage.
It's mileage.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's mileage.
Mileage
And also
and
because you
how it's been driven.
Yeah, not
and
letting
then
it warm up.
And then how it's been serviced.
What I would worry about is if the previous person didn't do all those things and did the proper servicing. He doesn't have a full service history. If somebody that was really pedantic about it, then I wouldn't. touch
My
it.
problem-
It's a highly strung engine. So
Yes.
it's something that you want to make sure that the guy had
Yes.
full service history and it was
100%.
taken care of and it was driven with mechanical sympathy.
No, man.
know,
Those
like-
motors are meant to be driven hard.
Yeah, but they have
mechanical
to be.
sympathy
You can
doesn't
drive them as
mean-
hard as you want,
But not if they're cold.
But mechanical sympathy means you can't do that when it's ice cold.
Oh, yeah, of
You got to
course,
let it warm up.
But you say, of course. But there are M drivers out there who doesn't see an of course with that.
Cold start video on Insta.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's called settling the cam in.
So if I'm not allowed to suggest to Brad that he keeps his Z3 and he buys another car, then I would actually say that a Giulia is a really good shout. And you can get a Giulia for 300 grand if you're willing to shop around and not necessarily look for
Super.
a Veloce or a Super. If
Veloce you're not going to get close to,
No.
but a Super you're not going to get. But you can
a
buy the pedal
Super-
somewhere and do a conversion, I
Super,
guess.
maybe if you buy one with a bit more mileage on it, but a base model you can definitely get for 300.
Yeah.
And that's a really nice playful chassis. It's a great engine.
Does
it's a nice
everything
car.
well.
It does everything.
You don't need another car then, if it does everything.
The other option is to swing completely the other way, away from driving enthusiasm, and look for a nice Lexus LS460.
But the problem is the guy doesn't tell us what he likes. He's selling
Exactly.
his A3. I assume if he liked it, he wouldn't want to sell it.
Well, not
some people like
necessarily.
that- some people also
I mean,
like-
you liked your Giulia and you sold that.
I also am not a fan of the sort of car people that do that. Like today he likes like a convertible, tomorrow he drives an X5. Then he decides like he buys a Golf GTI. Then he decides he's going to buy an XK Jag. I'm like, I like variety of the spice of life. It sounds to me like you need like a stabilizer, the SSRI, to help you like freaking stabilize your mind, basically.
SSRI
So, like,
is that the Jeep with the V8? That was the
Yeah,
SSRI.
SSRI basically. Yeah. Stabilize the mind. No, I don't get that. It's just my personality. It's like if you like something, then go for that. That's why I'm like, if you've had something like a Z3, unless I would go in that direction. I quite like the Lexus LS, but
Yeah.
that's cool. But for me, then I would rather say keep the Z3 and then try and get something like that.
Yeah. Now, on that, you probably could find an LS460 for around the 150K mark if you shop around
Or
for
a
long enough
430
or
or a
hard enough.
400. But
430 or 400 you can definitely get
yeah,
for that
but
kind
get
of
one of
money.
those then. They look better than No, the 400 is the best looking one.
Yeah, the
original one.
400. The 400 is
The
the best
430
looking
is
one.
the worst looking one.
The 430 was a bit ugly. The 460 is the
better.
best one to have.
The 431 with the 4 lights that they kind of like modeled after the.
Yeah, it's kind of.
430 is a bit
It
wobbly
looks a
in
bit
design.
like a bloated fish.
Yeah.
It's like the early 2000s.
It's got an awkward design to it.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
What does it look like?
Brother, ugh.
Brother,
But it's got like a motor.
Brother,
It's got the
Yeah, it's got the 3UZ, which was a nice engine. But I mean, the first gen 400.
Buy a
had
400.
The 400s, but
Buy
that
the
one
best.
UZ.
You just don't see a lot of them. But if you can find one in good nick,
yeah.
you're not going to pay that much for it, and it's going to last forever. And it looks
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
I quite like that.
Yeah, Chiro used to have a
Luxo barges,
400.
very,
Brilliant.
very underrated. I love a good Luxo
Yeah.
barge.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, Brad, I think, is going to
You've
struggle
got
making up
options.
his mind.
You've got options,
Lots of
Brad.
options.
Brad's got lots of options.
Brad, you can.
Make up your mind, Brad.
You're actually a nice guy, Brad.
My
We like you.
suggestion would be to write an email to Autocar magazine and ask them, because we haven't got a clue.
The most important thing is making your mind up what you actually want.
Yeah, Scirocco could work.
Scirocco could work.
Looks quite cool.
That's actually a good-
reliability.
And you definitely get one of those, a nice one of those.
If you like a
can even get
GTI,
an
but you
R.
don't like
You could get an
practicality,
R.
you know.
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think we've had enough brilliant ideas to melt my brain for one night. We have single-handedly solved all
Absolutely
of the automotive
nothing.
problems. Yeah, no, actually, we haven't.
and pissed off every motorist out there in
Yeah,
one episode.
We
We don't
apologize
discriminate.
profusely. Normal service will resume next week. Until then,
But please buy raw oil.
Yes.
buy row oil from our website, www.inductionnoise.co.za.
Congratulations to Calvin van der Linde and his team winning the Nürburgring 24 for the third time. And he's quite the young guy still. It's quite impressive. It's a very select few that have done that before. It's like big names like ex-Formula 1 drivers, Niki Lauda, those kind of guys.
But next
Proper.
time we want the invitation, please.
Yeah, we'd like to be there to see it.
You're going to have to have like an exit song, like row, 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 your boat. Scream.
Gently down Nürburgring.
If you see a 911, don't forget to scream.
Your musical talents have no bounds.
And like the Porsche, you will get penalized for
Yeah.
that.
For punting an Aston down the stream.
That was really
Yeah.
a bad accident, actually.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was really a bad accident.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.
I don't even know what else to do.
We're calling it time of death.
Time of death. Now.
What the fuck?
Ons het nog eens ons ander topic gekom.
Dat was een brilliant idee. Ons is fucking, ons gaan hier op 'n tydjie te daar met chat.
Dis fine. Dis gewoonlik wat
Dis
gebeur.
fine.
Dis maar gewoonlik met die
Daai
topic.
fucking email is exactly dieselfde email as die MX-5.